What's going on, everybody? It is October 2024. My name is Kenny Kamz, and this is The Black Show. What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. I hope everybody had a good weekend. I just chilled all weekend. I've been so tired every day. Like last night, I went to bed like 9 o'clock. I didn't even see. I was watching the UFC fights. Shout out to the Khalil Roundtree. That was a good fight from what I saw the replay of it. But I missed it live. I missed Kevin Holland's fight. I missed Stephen Wonderboy get knocked out. So, but it's been the last couple of days. This whole weekend, I've been asleep early, and my stomach has been feeling crazy. So I've been chilling. But in the midst of that chilling, I've been like kind of keyed in on this hurricane Helene stuff or Helena stuff for North Carolina and Tennessee. I don't know if everybody's seeing the videos from this. Like, I was talking to one of my old roommates from college on Facebook, right? And it's funny because shout out Mike. I love Mike, man. Sato. Sato, I don't know if he watches my content enough to know that because it was a comment he put underneath there. He was like, "This is not tinfoil hat stuff," because he was talking about the harp, and I was like, "Mike, it's a safe space, buddy. It's a safe space over here, man." If y'all were to get into the stuff I really believe, y'all be like, "Oh, he is crazy." Just and not because it's not rational, it's because it's so far outside of what the narrative of what everything is that you'd be like, nah. But it was funny in the conversation. It went from like the hurricane to like flat Earth, and it was a cool conversation. I love having those conversations with people that can understand that, like, yes, I believe some of this stuff, but I'm not like, or I believe some of this stuff may be true. I'm not sure about any of it, but it's only a few things in the world life I'm sure of. But it's very entertaining to me to entertain those possibilities. And I get some people don't like to talk about the conspiracy theories because they can't separate that part of their brain. They're like, oh, if that's true, then A, B, C, D. They can't be like, oh, that's interesting, and just let it go. And that on both sides, the people that are really, really like for conspiracy theories and the people that are really, really against them are this. I'm realizing more and more it's personality types, right? So I said this before. Anybody that's a Trumper and anyone that's or a MAGA person, whatever you want to say, or anyone person that's a Democrat, they're the same personality type. They just grew up in different places. Like they would you can interchange them like anything cards. They're the same. They're exactly the same. Um, because they have an extremist mindset that if the reality that they think in their head doesn't exist, then I don't even know how the back end of that. Like, if everything else is evil or it's scary. They're scared. That's what I'm looking for. If it doesn't exist as they see in their head, it's scary and they don't want to be a part of it, and they rather call you a liar until they're forced to believe the truth. And this is something that I've been talking about since like 2017 about our government, right? So I think the propaganda of what a government and all of this stuff is, like, I understand why what's his name? Rockefeller and them did the education system how they did. Was it to train people to go into work? Yes. Like, you think about it. I'm always up early and I'm driving around, right? I go to the gas station. I usually get my cigars or some juice or some coffee or something, right? And I'm like, why do we have little kids waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, to get on a bus at 6:30 to go to school? Why? The only explanation for that I could believe is that, like, it's free child care, so the parents, they have to get them out before the parents go to work. But if you really look at a lot of our systems, right, they absolutely make no sense. I speak on the college a lot, and like I loved my college experience. Was it productive for me? No. Was it important for my development? Yes, very, very much important. Because if I think if I'd have went straight into the workforce and I wouldn't have had the experiences I had in college, I'd be a very different person. I would be more materially successful, yes, but I also would have never had a chance to experience a lot of majority of the things I experienced in my life. So I appreciate my college experience, but the whole concept of college makes zero sense. And I'll break it down. So you're telling me I have to go somewhere, learn about stuff I don't care about because it's going to make me a better person so that eventually I can get a piece of paper that says I'm competent in doing something that I've actually never done. It doesn't make sense on its surface. Um, but that's most stuff like taxes. Like it's a new tax coming out in Wauwatosa, right? It's like $35 tax on the cars. I'm like, at some point, y'all gonna get to the point where y'all so frustrated where y'all like, we're not doing this no more, bro. Because all it is very rich people fleecing semi-rich, semi-wealthy people or comfortable people out of their money. Is it like that's why when I people that never seen Game of Thrones can't really perceive how this works, but like we, our government structure and the world is exactly the same as it was in Game of Thrones. It's literally, and I'm not speaking like hyperbolic, it's literally no difference. Like literally none. And I thought it was. I was like, oh, voting, democracy, and all that. Then I was like, wait, I'm a nerd. I was like, in the Constitution, it never says this is a democracy. It says it's a republic. Then I started looking up the definitions of republic and democracy. Then I'm like, wait, democracy kind of just gives the power to like powerful people that have money to like influence. And I'm like, oh, then it brings in the communists and the Marxism. And I'm like, that's all Marxism is marketing. And I'm like, okay. Then it goes back to like Europe. And I'm like, oh, okay, who started that? Then it was a point that Candace Owens hit on of a group. But I started even going deeper than that. Like once you, if you can, that's the thing. A lot of people, I realize, I don't understand. They don't keep going back. They just, okay, that's what it is. Like this thing that Candace Owens is talking about with Kamala Harris's parents is the biggest thing that ever happened. Because what it's essentially showing is that Kamala Harris came from hardcore Marxists that were wealthy for a long time. So I'm guessing if Candace Owens took one more step back to get the next generation of her family in Europe, I'm guessing she would get close to the Frankies again. And she may be figuring it out this weekend. But if she keeps going back, that's why I'm like, if you gotta know your history. That's why like a lot of communists and Marxists don't want people to know history or want to change history because and they change their names a lot. So they do that so they can't be tracked through history. It's to cover up the janky stuff that they do because they have to do janky stuff to meet their means. It's a weird thing. So how does this all relate to natural disasters and climate change and everything that's been happening? Do I believe that we are going through major earth changes? Yes. But that also is correlated to our sun. It's a lot other planets, a lot of other different factors. Um, if you look at how the solar system, it would be like, one of those spinning things that like, so you got a bunch of marbles spinning like in a circle, right? So if I was to crack the middle marble and it would have gas come out, it would clearly affect the other spaces of the other marbles. So that's essentially how our solar system works, I think. So it's a lot other factors than people. People are very minuscule on this earth. If you travel, I guarantee 99%, the majority of people that believe in climate change live in cities. Because when you get outside of the city and you start to see like the mountains in Arizona, in northern Arizona, the reservation, like that. Y'all can see in my eyes in that video. I'm like, holy shit! I saw a whole new world when I went to Sedona in Vegas. So when people try to say climate change, and also the people saying climate change are the people that are doing the most damage on their metrics. You know what I mean? They're flying private jets everywhere and doing all of that. So carbon's actually good for plants. It's a lot of stuff that's with that, but that's going to be used in all of this to push that carbon tax, right? But when you go back to it, besides the climate side, just I want to address that so it's addressed. This is when I go back to say the government isn't what y'all think it is. The government is operating as the government does, right? So it's not the government wrong. You think the government does different things that it doesn't do. So the government's a bureaucracy. It's not an effective like body. And it's kind of a term because what is the government? The government is made up of different agencies that have different tasks. So when we say the government's not helping, we're speaking, that's like saying, I want to say God, but I don't want to even put that reference. That's saying like that's like saying I'm having trouble posting my status. Facebook has a problem. It might not be Facebook. It might just be the app that runs that specific software for, the major company. Be having an issue that needs to be, fixed real quick. I saw this in Maui. That was the first time I seen it really with Americans. Because Katrina was different because America ain't gonna never do that for black people. Like anybody that's people of color or poor people, they don't give a fuck about you. And I thought that Maui was one of those same things. Actually, I thought the Paradise Fires was one of those same things. So it started with the Paradise Fires, actually, not Maui. So Paradise Fires, Maui, East Palestine, Ohio, the rail yard collapse or the bridge collapse, and I think it was Pennsylvania. Everything that's happened in Tennessee, Flint, Michigan with the water. So essentially, our government is a broker between corporations and land. All of these incidents that are happening, and people, you got to grow up. Weather modification exists. They juiced the shit out that hurricane. You can see the sound waves. That's why, me knowing sound and like I have a different relationship with sound. Sound waves they can enhance everything. So you think about it, you go in a club and you hear a certain song and it boosts your mood. It does the same thing. It's energetic field that we're in. So, and sound is energy. It's pushing energy. When you have that, like that's why you see on a subwoofer when a bass pushes it out. So sound is pushing energy. So if you blast enough sounds at the right frequency, you can juice anything up and make anything more enhanced or decrease it. And if you look on that radar map, you see it. I also think it's something I got to do more research into this if it's possible. But the amount of rocks that I see in this video throughout Tennessee, like small rocks, I think they blew up the top of that mountain during the hurricane. No one would know. There's so much going on. No one would be able to tell. But I want to close this off with when shit hits the fan, the government is not here to help you. They are just another gang that got lessened down from what they were, which makes them more desperate. Something that I saw in North Carolina. FEMA was confiscating goods, saying it's theirs, and then not giving it out to people. Please go back and watch Mel Gibson's movie The Patriot. Because I'm Mel Gibson in that movie. Don't give these people your stuff. Don't give these people your stuff. Help our neighbors. Help our people. And when I mean people, I mean the common folk. Common folk could be rich, poor, whatever. Help the common folk. These elitists, don't get them your stuff because it's nothing positive is gonna come from us from that. We gotta actually band together now. Like Trump, Democrat, whatever. Like y'all can have your personal opinions, but the reality of life is about to hit everybody real soon. So we all got to work together. Forget all of these little petty differences. We got to work together. Like that's the key. And I know saying this is the thing that got Martin took out, that got Freddie took. Like this is I'm saying the one thing that the elitists don't want people to say. So this message will probably not get out here at all. But it's time that both sides wake up. All sides wake up. Like it's us against them, y'all. And it's not saying go be violent because we don't have to, and it's not a thing that we could do because one, we don't have the resources, and two, that's not the spirit that we're bringing. Our spirit that we're bringing is we're together and we're raising the conscious level. Violence lowers it, so violence is not an option here for us. We have to just live better, and these people will start to expose themselves, just like in the Diddy and like all of that stuff that's happening in Hollywood. That's pieces of it, but we got to continue rolling. That makes sense. So it's Kenny Kamz, y'all. Have a good rest of y'all weekend. Hopefully the Packers get a win today. And then we'll have some sports guy stuff up later today too. But just wanted to get something out for y'all this morning. I'm a little late, but I was chilling this morning. All right, y'all. It's Kenny Kamz. I'm out. Peace.